Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well today. This feels weird because I haven't filmed just like a sit down casual chatty video in what feels like forever. I was away for 10 days, got back at the beginning of last week, I think. But I have just been kind of getting back into plant care things over the last few days, really. It always takes me a little bit of time to kind of get back into my flow when I get home. And so I thought now was a good time for a updatey kind of video. I've got several things that I've kind of been experimenting with over the last few months that I thought I'd kind of give you a bit of an update on. I've got just some growth updates, some things that I am wanting to kind of change up in my collection, both styling wise and growing wise. So yeah, I thought today I could just kind of go through everything with you, have a chat. How many times can I say chat in the intro of this video? And yes, that is what the video is going to be. So hello, if you're new here. Hi, my name's Claire and this is Yoli. I make videos all about houseplant care, sharing tips and tricks I've learned over the years to help keep your plants happy and healthy. And I've actually sat down this morning and made a list of everything I would like to take you through. So despite the fact that we're off to a slightly waffly start, hopefully you will enjoy what is to come. So yes, I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start back here because I feel like I have had a bit of a breakthrough with my Anthurium Regal Magnificum hybrids. This is one of my favourite Anthurium hybrids. I have spoken about my love for this plant so much over my time of owning it. However, it is one that I have struggled a little bit with. So I have played about with loads of different things to basically see what works and see if I can fix things. And I kind of feel like maybe I have. So if you look at the bottom leaves here, you can see a lot of them very raggedy, and this is basically how all of the leaves would unfurl on this plant, and I couldn't quite work out why. Like initially when they started coming in and they were kind of very small Anthurium leaves, they'd look pretty much perfect, and then as the leaf would start to mature and harden off, it would just start becoming very crispy, very brown. And I was like, I don't understand. I really don't understand, because once the leaf has hardened off, like obviously it's looking battered, but like it wouldn't get any worse basically. So yeah, I've tried loads of different things, and the things that I have mixed up the most in the last few months is the substrate that I'm growing it in. And as you might be able to see, despite the fact it's in terracotta, which is not always something that people recommend for anthuriums, but again, giving it a go. It's in terracotta and it's actually just in sphagnum moss at the moment. It's not in anything else. I had some of you saying, grow it in semi-hydro, grow it in pure orchid bark, tree fern fibre, all these things. And I was at one point growing this plant in quite a chunky soil mix with loads of tree fern fibre, loads of perlite, like sphagnum moss, all of these things. And again, I just wasn't getting on great with the plant at that point. So I had a big mix up. Sphagnum moss is typically the thing that I will jump in with if I'm trying to really, really help a root system to expand, just because it is so like highly aerated. It allows for lots of moisture retention, but also it really allows the roots to breathe. So that's what I did firstly. And then I've spoken about it a little bit in other videos, but as well as my normal fertiliser that I use, which is liquid gold leaf, I use it for pretty much all my houseplants. I did start playing about with it's got hair on it, a Calmag fertiliser as well. And I have dabbled with Calmag in the past. Calmag is basically just a calcium magnesium supplement that you can give your plants. And I've had some of you in the comments for a while saying to me, maybe that is why the browning was occurring on this plant. And I was at the point where I was like, you know what, I'm willing to give anything a go. So I grabbed like a Calmag. You can get loads of different brands. The one that I went for is called Shogun. As I say, none of this is sponsored. It's got the pH and the NPK and all of that sort of stuff on the bottle. And I have been using that consistently with this plant for about 3.5 to 4 months now, I think. And in that time, it did give me this lovely new leaf. And this is the first new leaf that it's given me that hasn't got any damage on it whatsoever. And as it's hardened off, it hasn't started to break or brown or anything like that. So I really do feel like I have discovered something pretty amazing for this plant, because as I say before, I just wasn't striking the right balance. Now obviously I am. For the time being, I am continuing with pretty much every single water to go in with the Calmag and the LGL, liquid gold leaf stuff that I use. I may stop that if the plant seems to stop growing over the winter months. As I say, personally nowadays, I will always continue to fertilise plants if they are actively growing for me. But yeah, it feels like a real breakthrough, and I was worried about that plant in the time that I was away because it was just growing in sphagnum moss, and I was like, is it going to dry out? Like, is it going to be all right? I wrapped the pot in sphagnum moss, in cling film. And fortunately it stayed nice and hydrated for the time that I was away. And I was going to say as well, I left my plants for 10 days. Nobody came in to water them, nobody came in to look at them. And I must confess, the reason that this video was kind of sparked is because I had a plant care day yesterday, and I was going around and I was doing all of these things, mainly watering, but a bit of like pesty stuff. I was doing all of these things that I was like, oh my God, I'm so behind on. And that was like 18 days after, 18 days since my plants last had a water. And there were a lot of them in this space that, although they were a bit dry, they were fine. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's kind of cool to know that a lot of my plants that are tropical plants, and a lot of them are rainforest plants, are so drought tolerant when they need to be. So yeah, again, just really highlights the thing that I always say, which is underwatering is always better than overwatering. Like, a lot of the time they will bounce back if they're underwatered. But yes, before I move on to anything else, I will just take the camera off the tripod. I know I said I did a bit of rearranging yesterday. I'll just give you a quick little look at the room and some of the things that I want to do in here. So one of the first things I kind of rearranged was some of the hanging plants that went along the top bit here, just because I wanted to just try and make this space feel a little bit more open. Like, if I come back down the stairs, it's very messy, by the way, I've got laundry everywhere. But if you just look through to that space, before, the hanging plants kind of didn't allow you to appreciate some of the things that were kind of like climbing the ceiling and like hanging down and stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, I thought I would just take like some of these vines, and I've just wrapped some of these around one of the poles here. I know that's now not optimizing that pole, so I might change that back. Oh, I don't know, I'm always changing things, but on this side, I much prefer it. I've started to train my Epipremnum mandula pothos to climb the wall there, which I really love the look of. And I've also just popped my Hoya linearis there, because again, now when I stand back and I just look at that bit, it just looks so much nicer than it did before. I feel like everything was just kind of plonked, and I really neglected that side. So that immediately just feels better to me. I don't know why, just like having a mix up of my plants from time to time just sometimes makes me care for them better, because I kind of notice things that I didn't notice before. And then yeah, just like looking straight into the space, I took loads of things off the shelves here. Like, for example, this begonia was growing off the shelves, and oh my God, this one has got so big. And I think it looks much nicer on the windowsill there. It's getting fairly similar light, I'd say, and that just frees up so much space for things to grow big there, which is good. But as I was kind of going through and shuffling things around and just kind of playing about with different positions, you can see a few things have kind of changed places. I was thinking about how I just kind of wanted to continue to optimize space in this in this area of the house, the kind of like main planty space, and what I could do to make it even better. And one of the things I've been thinking about for a while, and I haven't got around to actually doing yet, is this area of ceiling here, which is kind of like, it's tilted like that. It's kind of gently sloped. That's a weird way of putting it, I know. But what I was thinking is I would love to try and get like some kind of ladder, like an old vintage wooden ladder, but something that can take quite a lot of weight, and maybe see if I can put it on a pulley system of some sort so that I can like hang my hanging plants from it and then like lower it down as and when I want to. Because again, I feel like that would just really allow me to create like a 360 canopy of green. That is honestly what I would love so much for this space. I would eventually love to just look through here and it just be, I mean, I know it's very green already, but like just absolutely like just a little indoor jungle, literally an indoor jungle. So yeah, that's one of the things that I very much want to do. And obviously another thing that I've been speaking about for such a long time now and I haven't done is my cabinet. I really want to actually turn this into the terrarium cabinet that I was talking about. I've obviously started to get loads of the bits for it and I've just kind of come to a bit of a standstill, and this is absolutely classic for me. I will have like a really big idea and then I'll get super excited about it and then I will just get completely overwhelmed by it, and then I will end up just feeling bad about the fact that I'm not doing it. And that's kind of how I'm feeling about the cabinet at the moment. So I think I'm just going to start doing it in stages. I really wanted to try and get it done before summer was out. I wanted to be able to put my cabinet like outside while I was letting the silicone go off, for example, and I haven't got around to doing that. So yeah, I think probably in the next week or two I might just start with step one, which is just sealing it. And my aim, I'm setting myself a goal here because sometimes that helps me. My aim is to try and have it done by the end of January. That's a couple of months, and that's a decent amount of time to be able to really think through everything as I go, do it in stages. I feel like as well, once I actually start it, I will probably just be on a roll and I won't want to stop. But yeah, that's my goal. That's my goal. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I think it's going to look absolutely amazing when it's done. I just need to do it. But yeah, I've also got down here quite a few sad plants that I've just left there. In fact, I'll take you through them in a minute. They're not doing well and / like need things doing to them. But on the whole, having spent 10 days away, I think everything has done pretty well. Okay, so the ones that I put to one side to deal with yesterday when I was going through and doing plant care, not all of them are bad, but they all need something doing. And this one is the Sansevieria metallicum cuttings that I propagated ages ago. They have very much rooted and I do need to pot them up because otherwise they're probably going to start to rot. Oh dear, the mother plant is still outside. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 plants that are currently just sat outside my back door and have been there for like 3 weeks now, some of them longer, in fact some of them a lot longer, and I do need to deal with them before it starts getting really seriously cold. The temperature is starting to really drop overnight here in the UK, and yeah, I've got like a couple of succulents and things that I should deal with, so I'll make a video on that soon, a rehabby video, and that will hold me accountable. But this one, sadly, I think is a goner, and I'm absolutely gutted because I've tried rehabbing this one already. This was an Anthurium, I think it was a Regal Cross Bessier AF Anthurium. It was beautiful, I was so excited about it. It did start to rot a while ago, the chonk, so I rehabbed it in sphagnum moss, and yesterday I was like, oh, I wonder how it feels, and I squeezed it and it just felt really squishy, and when I broke it in half, although there's a little bit of life in there, as you can see, that is pretty much all rot. So yeah, I just think it's too far gone to do anything about it. And I've tried. But I believe, bar one begonia that I really didn't care about, I believe that's the only death that has occurred recently, which is good. But then this one, I showed you guys this one before I went away. It's my Dracaena Milky Way. And in fact, if you watched my full houseplant tour video a few weeks ago, you will have seen it in that, and it didn't look very happy even then. And I can't quite figure out what is going on with this plant. I've taken it out of its soil. I've looked at the roots. The roots looked fine. They looked absolutely fine. So I think the next step now is probably going to be to give it a hydrogen peroxide soak. And then my gut would probably say back into sphagnum moss. What do you reckon? What would you do? Because like, as you can see, it's just got a yellowy tinge to all of its leaves. It's usually really dark green with all these beautiful little like speckles of white. And yeah, it's lost so many leaves down the bottom. It's looking quite sparse. So yeah, that is what my gut would say. It's survived. This is one of the ones that I haven't watered since before I went away. So it's survived 18 days without a water. And weirdly, I can still feel some moisture in the soil. I don't even know how that's possible, but yeah, it's clearly not urgent, but I do think I need to get around to this in the next week, let's say. So let me know what you would do if this were your plant. And then the other one that I put to one side to deal with is the Alocasia. What is this Alocasia? The name has left me, so I'll put it on the screen. But it's beautiful. It's a really gorgeous one. And actually, this is one that is looking way healthier on camera than it is off camera. It looks a bit dull in real life. Like, I don't know, I think as the light is kind of gleaming off it, it makes it look quite shiny, but actually in reality, it's usually way more shiny and kind of robust and rigid. It's obviously down to one leaf, and I'm growing it in semi-hydro. I'm just having a look at the bottom. I can see its roots are a little bit slushy, but then also if I look up, I can see there's so many healthy roots in there, but also so many corms. So I think really this one just needs a bit of a root rehab and a repot. But yeah, it's one that like at the moment has just been sat at the back of my shelves, not gathering dust, but just not really being appreciated. And so I'm like, I think I want to change up the way I'm growing this plant and maybe put it somewhere different so that I can appreciate it a little bit more. The other thing that I have found a lot since I've been back, and actually this is one, oh, you know what? No, there's one there. If you can see that white bit just there, is mealybugs. And I have kind of got this ongoing battle with mealybugs. I never have a full outbreak, a full infestation. I just find like the odd one or two. And this has been the case for ages now. Literally, I think since I moved into my flat, which was, how long ago was that? 3.5 years ago, something like that. But yeah, since I've got back, I've found several plants that have mealybugs on them, most of them Hoyas, and yeah, Hoyas are so prone to mealybugs, but also are such a nightmare when they do get them because they just get into all the little cracks and crevices. I've taken several Hoyas up to the bathroom, and what I found has been working quite well is I've just got isopropyl alcohol, which I put in this aerosol sprayer, which I'll link below. I just get it on Amazon, and I find this, in fact, I'll take a plant outside and I'll put a clip in of me using it so that I don't actually have to kind of spray alcohol in my face. But yeah, it just distributes it in a really nice, fine, even mist, and I feel like it's just really good at targeting like all of the plants. So yeah, that's what I've done for all of those plants so far. Obviously, whenever you treat with isopropyl alcohol, you do just need to make sure you don't then go and like put that plant under a grow light or put it in direct sun or anything like that, because the plant will burn very, very quickly. Like even more so than if you go in with something like a systemic pesticide. I find this, like I've ruined plants in the past by just like putting them back by the window after treating. So yeah, I usually do it before bed. That is when I have been treating. But then I thought I would just very quickly give you a little Waroqueanum check-in because I just want to keep you in the loop with this plant. I've actually, as you guys know, got 2 Waroqueanums now. And these are a type of Anthurium that I have really struggled with. But this one here is doing so well. This is the one that I was sent as a much bigger plant, and it is starting to give me its first new leaf in my time of owning it, which I'm super excited about. I did actually show you guys this plant in my Halloween video that I made last week, and actually I will again link that video down below because I did like a gothic Halloweeny makeup look, and from some of the comments some of you guys were saying that you didn't realise it was my video because you didn't recognise me, so I'll link that video down below. But yes, I'm really happy with how this one is doing so far. Also, if you watched that video, you will have heard me say that it is starting to give me a little inflorescence, which is crazy. It means that I could, in theory, pollinate this plant. I was asking you what you thought, and most of you were saying, don't do it. Like, get to know the plant more first. And although it's really tempting to go ahead and pollinate, I think you are right. I don't think I'm going to do it this time around. But yeah, as I say, I'm growing it in a pond pot, which is basically all holes, and it just means that the aeration for the roots is fantastic. I can see through the side of the pot that the plant has got a really, you can't really see it on camera, but a really strong root system, and I'm just keeping it really hydrated. I'm watering this plant whenever the top layer of moss starts to feel a bit dry. Again, when I was away on holiday, I cling filmed all of that as well, and that kept the moisture in. So yeah, so far so good. I'm also doing the same Calmag thing for that plant, just because I'm like, it's working well with this type of Anthurium. The Waroqueanum is obviously one that I haven't had the best luck with in the past, so I was like, why not give it a go? And yeah, so far so good. And also the little baby one that I got at Wisley, and in fact, just because I'm interested to do a side-by-side comparison, I will put a clip on the screen of when I first got this plant from Wisley, because it's been, how long has it been? It's been at least a month, 2 months. And yeah, if I put those clips side by side, I'll shuffle over so I can put that there. I think the plant is doing really well so far. I'm really happy with the growth it's giving me, and I'm happy with how it's sizing up in quite a short amount of time actually. These leaves here are still kind of sizing up and hardening off. They're the 2 most recent ones. And yeah, I know I have said it a couple of times, but I think it's probably been quite a good thing to start with a little baby and a more mature plant at the same time, because it's just keeping me on my toes in a way that I wasn't previously with the Waroqueanum. And this is I don't want to jinx it, but this is the most confident I have felt with growing this type of plant in a very long time. So yeah, I don't want to say anything else. It's going well, we'll leave it at that. And then a couple of things that I'll have to put some clips in to show you, but in my time of being away, my Monstera Thai constellation has started giving me a new leaf, which is so exciting because out of the entire plant, this is the only leaf I can actually take credit for. It's the only new leaf it has given me in my time of owning it, because that is a plant that I found on Facebook Marketplace. I got it very big, and yeah, I'm just so happy that it's giving me some new growth, because obviously the lovely person that grew it last did such a fantastic job, and I have never got on that well with the Tycon, so I was like, oh god, what if it comes here and it dies? So yes, that is super exciting, but it has also got me thinking about where the heck is that plant going to live long term. I know some of you said it when I first brought it home, but I actually don't know. Without having a pretty significant downsize of my collection, or getting rid of some of my bigger plants, or chopping them back, I'm actually not sure. I'm just gonna let that play out, and I'll see how I feel about that in a few months' time, or the next, when the next leaf comes along. And the other thing that I wanted to put some clips in of is my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, which again I showed you in my big houseplant tour. And I said in that tour video that I basically just hadn't kept on top of watering with that plant and it had lost loads of leaves. And I don't know why I didn't think of this, but thank you so much to those of you in the comments that suggested this. A few of you were saying, why don't I get some kiki paste? And for those of you that don't know, kiki paste is basically like a growth hormone that you put on nodes of plants that have lost leaves, and it helps to stimulate growth from that point. I played about with it a few years ago on my channel on one of my philodendrons, and it worked amazingly. So yeah, I'm absolutely going to do that, and I will document it on YouTube so that you can see whether or not it works. But I love that plant, but it just is looking really straggly and sparse at the moment. So 100% I will be doing that. Thank you so much for suggesting that. But then a very exciting growth update that I have come home to. I've been saying for a while, and in fact I will show you not its new leaf, but I've been saying for a while that I've really been wanting my Anthurium SPL Condor to size up and start giving me really big mature growth. And I saw a new leaf starting to unfurl just before I went away, and this is what I have come home to. How beautiful is that? This is, oh my god, it finally feels like I'm owning one of my wishlist Anthuriums, because although I've had this one in my collection for a couple of years now, it has been quite slow to size up. Like, if you look at its little leaves down here, that's what it was like when I first got it. And it has taken a bit of time to get to this point, but oh my goodness, I could not be prouder. It's just got the lovely ruffliness that's starting to happen on the sides of the leaves. It's got that beautiful spaced lobing that I love. And yeah, I feel like hopefully it will just continue to get better and better and better. Again, I know it's now getting big. I know it's now getting really big, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? I don't know. But I should actually probably think about pot sizing up this one at some point, because I'm growing it in just like, I think this is actually, it's made to be like a pasta jar. It's just a transparent container, no drainage on the bottom. I've just got semi-hydro at the bottom there, and then I've got soil on top. It's got such pretty roots. I absolutely love the roots of this plant. But yeah, it just, like, out of everything, I would say this is probably the thing that I was the most excited to come home to. I was a little bit worried about that plant because it was next to, in fact, let me grab it. Yeah, it was next to this one, which is my little Monstera mint. And basically this one has had black thrips, and I didn't realise that, but I did kind of think to myself, why is this one taking such a long time to unfurl this leaf? And I got back and this new leaf was just absolutely riddled with like the grown-up adult thrips. And I must say, I haven't, like, touch wood again, I know I've been like very on it with my pest treating and checking recently, but I haven't actually dealt with pests since I had the kind of, I don't want to say outbreak, but like since I really dealt with them about 5 or 6 months ago now, maybe even longer. And I think maybe this is just because, again, I was away for a couple of weeks and I didn't get the chance to actually see this leaf unfurling. I wasn't that good at monitoring the plant. I have just squashed all of the black thrips now, and I haven't seen any more, but again, like, I'm keeping this plant, it's in a little like cloche thing under my table here, so it's not like exposed to all my other plants. And what I've been doing for pest control in my collection, just in general, is using these sachets. These basically, it's biological pest control. You can get them for all sorts of pests. Spider mites and thrips are the ones that I use it for. And these ones mainly only tackle the young thrips, but they do therefore like stop the breeding cycle. So I haven't seen a single young thrip on my plants in months, which is amazing considering how many I've got and how like packed together a lot of them are. And the adult black thrips, typically I will see like one here or there and it's nothing major and I'll just squash it. Yeah, this one was not good. Was not good when I got home. So fingers crossed, I don't need to go I won't need to go in with any of the like hard chemicals like systemic pesticides or anything like that. I really nowadays, in fact, since I have moved into my house here, which has been almost a year now, what the heck, I really have not done systemics at all. Like I don't think I've sprayed any plant with them. I don't think. I'm actually racking my brains now trying to think if I have. Typically what I will say for myself in my own collection is if it gets to a point where something is like absolutely awful and pests are out of control, I'll go in with something like Provanso and I will spray the plant down. But yeah, I have mainly been trying to do all natural wherever possible, mainly just because I really do believe that plants are healthier in the long run if you're able to kind of replicate to the best of your ability their natural growing conditions, i.e. try to create as much of a kind of symbiotic relationship between nature as it would occur in the wild. So like using good soils, like making sure you're using nice organics, like organic substrates or like organic fertilizers and biological pest control and all that sort of stuff, nematodes. That being said, I also am highly aware of the fact that I have more time to be able to dedicate to like experimenting with things than a lot of people do because I do planty stuff full time. I also know that it can be very expensive. I feel like I've struck quite a nice balance now where I'm not having to like buy loads of things. I am just kind of keeping the cycle going. But I do also appreciate the fact that I am very fortunate in some respects with that. But yeah, so currently that is the plan with that one. If the black thrips do continue to come back, what I will probably do is I'll probably get some more Aureus larvicatus, which are the like bigger, fast moving predators, and I will probably whack them in the cloche with the plant and hope that they just can eradicate the pests once and for all. But yeah, that's the plan with that one. And what I was saying, that's why I wanted to show you that plant. I got distracted again. But I was basically very glad that this plant doesn't seem to have been affected at all. I literally have checked every centimetre of this plant to make sure that it isn't thrippy, and I've been back a good week now and I haven't seen anything, so I think we're in the clear, which is good. The one thing, and this is kind of pest related and kind of not pest related, but I don't know if anyone has any advice, is that we have got loads and loads of house spiders at the moment, which I think it's just the time of year. Don't worry if you're spider phobic, I'm not going to put clips in or anything like that, but I'm just finding lots of them in my plant room specifically, and back in the day I would usually like just let the spiders live there because I'm like, they're predators, they'll probably help with pests to some degree. But now that I'm using so much biological pest control, I'm like, are they eating the good guys? Are they eating the predators? Because obviously they're probably not distinguishing, and therefore I'm like, okay, I need to get them out of the plant room. I don't want to hurt them, but I'm like, there are so many of them now. Like they're living in my pots, some of them, which I don't like. So yeah, does anyone have any good, humane ways to get rid of spiders, bar just like a glass and a postcard? I have got a spider catcher that sucks them all up, but the really thin, like spindly ones, I call them Harry spiders. I don't know why I call them Harrys, but I find that can often damage them and I don't want to hurt them. So yeah, any tips, that would be appreciated. And then finally, let's end on a positive one. I've got so many things obviously that are going on in my collection, but I feel like some of them I'm going to save for like a more proactive video where I'm actually going to like do things about them. But one thing that is just so exciting for me at the moment is my Alocasia Sarian, and this one is my little tissue culture one that I got at the beginning of last year. And at one point that was its biggest leaf. It was such a little thing when I first got it. And its most recent leaf, you guys, oh my goodness, just look at that. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous. And I did say, I was like, ideally, I would like to aim for getting this plant to give me a leaf the size of my hand by the end of growing season. And if I hold my hand next to it, you can see it is even bigger. It's just gorgeous. So yeah, I can also see it's getting ready to give me a new leaf. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this plant is exciting me so much. I just love the like glossiness of its leaves. It's kind of waxy, the variegation is so blocky and cool, and then it's got these beautiful zebrina-esque stems. So yeah, this is a plant that I have been excited to grow for years, and the fact that I've actually had the opportunity to do so this year and it's gone well makes me really happy. So yeah, I couldn't not give you an update on its latest leaf. But yes, I'm gonna finish there, I think, because I feel like this has been a bit of a waffly one. I often, when I'm finding my flow, just feel that I'm like blah, 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 blah. But give me some updates on your plants. Let me know what's going on in your collection. I always genuinely really love to hear what's going well, what's not going well. Have you got any new plants recently? Let me know in the comments. And also, because it's really useful for me, let me know what kind of videos you would like to see more of on my channel. I know some people on my Patreon the other day were saying that talking more about like fungal issues would be really useful and how to recognize fungal things. That's on my list. But yeah, let me know down below and I will make videos on it. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video.
Stay sexy, plant lovers.